Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down. Hey, Angela. Bingham.
Hey, Natalie Sanderson.
What's up?
I just got back from the movies, and it was awesome.
What movie?
I just wanted to see if you would ask. I thought you would never ask. It was Barbie, and let me tell you something, girl.
Yeah,
It's
girl,
worth all
I
the
saw
hype.
it.
It's worth
I
all the
saw it
hype.
with my girlfriend's opening night, and we all dressed as Barbies. I
didn't know
wore
about
a
that
hot
part.
pink t-shirt with white jeans, and I had my hair all Barbied up with like pink lipstick,
Oh my gosh.
and everybody had like Barbie stuff on. Yeah, we really did it.
That is amazeballs,
And I'm
dude.
glad because it's a perfect movie.
It is. And we're going to have a podcast episode about it, but not today.
Yeah, and we're gonna have our Barbie. She's gonna come on. I've already sent a text.
Yes. We have
But
a Barbie that we
don't
have.
reveal. No reveal.
I'm not going to tell anybody who it is,
Okay.
but she's coming
all right.
on.
Well, she's coming back on. That's the only
Yeah.
hint.
Hint.
Okay. So, all right, we talked about that. I just
Got that out of the way.
We got that out of the way. All right. So I want to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm going out of town tomorrow.
Oh, right. Where are you going?
Right. I'm going to Alabama to see my cousin Suzanne, her husband Andy, and her kids Andrew and Catherine that I have
Nice.
yet to meet
Oh,
because
nice.
this weekend is the Sanderson, Simmons, Kilgore,
Oh my goodness.
Keys family reunion in Atlanta.
Oh gosh, that's
And
gonna
I'm
be great.
so excited. I can
Mhm.
hardly stand it.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So
It's gonna be hot, but it's gonna be fun.
it's actually super. I looked at the weather. It's better than it is here.
Oh, good.
Like
'Cause
80s.
I feel like good. Oh, good.
90s.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I'm so excited to be with my family over there. And we haven't done this since like the 80s, maybe early
Oh,
90s. I mean,
geez.
we were all together for Lauren and Colin's wedding, but
Right.
it was too crazy. We didn't get a lot of good time. And, I hang out with, Michael, cousin Michael and I are
Yeah.
like besties. So I see him.
Tattoo buddies.
Right.
Ish. Well,
Well,
yeah.
you never
we
know.
that
There's a lot of
story.
life left in this hall. So who knows what I'll do.
You never know.
But he is, yeah. So I'm excited to see him and like everybody and like spend time together. So anywho, but today,
Uh-huh.
well, per your suggestion, we're going to talk about different podcasts that we're listening to.
Yes.
Isn't that fun? Because we have a podcast and we're going to talk
We
about
have-
other podcasts to
we-
deter people from listening to us.
Is that what's gonna happen? They're gonna start listening to other people, and then they're not gonna listen to us anymore.
No,
Is
I
that what's
hope
gonna
that
happen?
no, I'm just being
No.
I'm just being a brat.
That's not how it works. But
not how
I
it
do want
works.
to ask you, before we get started on this, I want to ask you because you seem to be in a different room of your house. Are you in the library?
I'm in my library.
Oh,
my
it's
library.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that
Yeah,
background.
I've read all of
You've-
these books.
You've no wonder you need to put your books down.
I know,
There's
I'm
a lot
worn
of
out.
books.
I've just read so many books.
You just read and read.
Oh, it's
and
like I
just-
read and I read and I read and I'm
Ugh.
like, oh, we have
Yeah.
got to talk about other things in books.
Yes, I know.
Sometimes I
It
just
gets
get booked
exhausting.
out. Do you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Now, speaking of books, you and I had a brilliant idea last week, and we both have decided that we are going to start the Put Your Books Down book club.
Book club. Yes.
Yes, queen. And
It's
so
so
we
exciting.
are starting. Yep. So we're starting our book club. I just ordered the book off of Amazon. So we want all of our listeners who are listening, if there's like maybe 1 or 2 listeners that we
Yes.
regularly listen
If
to
we
us.
didn't scare you off from the buns episode and you're still
Oh,
with us,
gosh.
then happy to have you.
Praise you for
Thank
being
you
here.
so much. But our book that we're starting with is Lessons in Chemistry. Is that what it is?
Yes. I think that's
I don't
what it's
remember the
called,
author.
yes. I just ordered it, and I think it's actually getting here today. It's called Lessons in Chemistry, a novel. And the author is Bonnie Garmis. And
Right.
this is the cover of the book for everybody
Yep.
who's watching. This is going to not show up right, but
Right.
Bonnie Garmis, Lessons in Chemistry. It's a New York Times bestseller, and it's been recommended to us by several people.
So many
And
people.
even though we do say put your books down, we just want people to know we do read books.
Yes.
Okay? We're not
We want you to put
ding
your books
dongs.
down so you can listen to our podcast. Okay?
Yes. Put your
So
books down so you can take a breather.
take a breather.
Yes.
And also the books that for Put Your Books Down Book Club,
yeah.
they're light as far as we know. Now, obviously
Right.
we haven't read them, but
Right.
from the information we have gathered, it's
Yes.
not it's not like we're not reading like Helter Skelter, unfortunately. We had a conversation and we're not going that route. I'm not going to read
not
American
going
Psycho, like one of my favorite books. We're not reading American Psycho. So these are supposed to be kind of
Right.
light,
Mhm.
reflective,
Sure.
just more fun, more on the fun side.
Yeah, like not quite a summer romance novel, but not,
But not
War and
not.
Peace. Right. Not, but yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, everybody, if you want to read along with us, when are we going to start, Nat? What are we going to start this
we're
week?
waiting till you get your book.
Okay.
You
Well,
gotta
it's
get your
coming in
book.
today. So I think we should say like we're starting the book club like this week, someday this week.
And just you start when you start. I'm gonna be on the airplane tomorrow, so I'll start
tomorrow
on the plane in the airport.
Okay, so everybody who's listening to this, they're going to be like 2 weeks behind us, right?
Right.
So, or maybe 3. So we just want people to, how about we say August 1st, we're all starting the book club.
Yep.
We'll start. So on Put Your Books Down, we're going to have little snippets where we just talk a little tiny bit about the book for a minute.
Yeah.
Just for a moment. And we'll talk about it on social media and we'll get everybody involved. So everybody, if you're listening and you want to have a little bit of fun with these gals.
We like to cut up and
We just
read
like to cut up.
sometimes.
Man, we just like to go ham and read.
Yeah.
Is that how the kids use that term?
I don't think go ham is hip.
What
I think
is
it's
ham?
Go ham.
Yeah,
Like
what does
go
that mean?
full crazy, like go full
stands
out.
for something. I think it stands for something. I'm not cool enough to know.
Well,
I don't know
I'm
why I haven't
obviously
said it.
not
Mm-mm.
either.
Mm.
But
I'm
it'll be
having
fun,
Yeah.
And it's also,
Yeah.
we're also really, I'm like a space cadet, so
Yeah.
we're starting this now. We're making a big deal about it, and I might forget
Yeah.
about this in like a week. So
Well,
we'll just see how it
I'm
goes.
not gonna let you forget because I'm gonna
right,
keep
Angela's the
asking about it.
stickler. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the stickler.
Boss lady.
Okay, one last other thing I wanted to tell you is today there's a boy, I can't talk. There is a lady who has an account on Instagram. Her name is Looper Som, and she does Bodega Wine Monday.
Oh yeah, she's funny.
And she reviews wines every week. She's a sommelier in New York. She works for fancy restaurants, but she has this page and she's so great. Everybody should follow her. Looper Som. She's like the Som for everyone. I just want you to know that you are vindicated because today she reviewed your wine, the Oyster Bay Sauvignon Blanc, and she's like,
so good.
okay, this tastes like what it smells like. You know what? I'm not mad at this. Like, so you're vindicated, girlfriend.
$13. Twist
On
off.
our hot takes. Yep, our hot takes episode back in January.
I mean,
we talked about.
Yep. You're such a snooty snoot about your wines.
I'm not. My whole
I just
point
need to
with wine,
you know what? It's my job, Angela, to bring you back to earth sometimes.
I know.
As far as wines.
But I am not a snobby wine drinker. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I like people like Sarah Looper, who she.
But I told
says,
you the wine was good, and it didn't matter.
I know.
So that's not.
I've
snooty,
I've even had that wine in my fridge since then. Just FYI.
But you would never tell me till now. You just couldn't share that with me offline. It takes Looper Lady to tell you that that Oyster Bay Sauvignon Blanc is legit.
No,
I see
that's.
I see you. I see.
You know me so well.
I
All right,
do.
moving on. I'm drinking a really nice rosé that I got at Whole Foods. I hope you're happy. There,
Yeah.
see?
Good
It's
for you.
delicious. It's
Good.
great. $14.99 a bottle. Okay.
Cool. That's
All right.
pricey, but
We are going to talk about podcasts, girlfriend.
yeah.
Let's get it going.
I was
So,
thinking we break up
yeah.
the podcasts that we're talking about. Like, I think we could start with. So I'll let you choose. We can start with the true crime ones we're listening
Yes.
to, and then we can start with the comedy lighter podcasts
Yeah.
that we listen to.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
Well, that sounds great because I think we should jump right in because I have been binge listening, much like we binge watch TV shows, and I think you've been binge listening too. I think you were the one who told me to binge listen to this.
You think?
I think you were.
I
Scamanda.
absolutely was. Scamanda.
Okay.
I sent you a screenshot and said, do this now. I listened to it in a day and a half.
Me too. Could not
Scamanda.
stop.
This is a true crime story of this woman, Amanda C. Riley, and it's about essentially, faking cancer to get money to to support your lifestyle and like all of these like ins and outs and like investigative journalism. We've got an investigation with a detective. We've got people that knew her. We got all these people. All they're all speaking. We've got recordings. It's so crazy, and it's just amazing what people get away with. It just blows my mind. But this is like, I thought it was really well done. This podcast, and I liked the woman that did it. She's British.
Yeah,
can't remember her name, but
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. It's so I thought it was really great, and I couldn't stop listening to it, and I had several friends that listened to it the same way we did, and it's infuriating, but you can't stop.
Well, the thing that made me obviously really interested in it right off the get-go was that it took place in my hometown,
San Jose, California,
which is where I was born and raised. So it's like, wow, this
because you lived in San Francisco after that.
Well,
at one point. In case I don't know if our listeners know that.
A lot of people don't, they just
some people don't know that. So let's just make
assume
sure
that I'm from other places. But yeah,
you assume. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Anyway,
I did,
what was her gold thing was that she really got the big mega church that she was going to involve, and that might be. This is the crossover, the Venn diagram of like blogging, scamming, and then put the church in there, and then you're just golden. She was having people throw money at her feet,
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
and going on trips to New York and shopping and throwing parties.
We can't spoil it. Yeah,
I'm not. No way, Jose.
But yeah, I mean,
no way, San Jose. Can I say that? Is that okay?
Get a clue, Mountain View.
Point taken, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. I was actually born in Mountain View. That's why I made that joke. That was off the cuff, by the way. Thank you. That was my improv skills.
Good job.
But yes, it's everybody listen to Scamanda. And then there's some bonus episodes towards the end where they really go in depth about like how she did it. And it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. It's sweeping the nation right now. So everybody has probably heard of Scamanda. So we're pretty basic, but whatever. It's so good.
There's a reason it's so popular.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's fabulous.
It's really good.
Shocking. Okay, the other one that I've been listening to that is a true crime is The Retrievals. It's on.
Okay, I haven't started The Retrievals. It's made me want to dry heave just reading the synopsis. That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
gets me. You go ahead.
Well, it's on. It basically talks about these women who are undergoing IVF and they have to go get their egg retrievals done, and they're put under. Do you know any anesthesiologists? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I know one.
They're put under, and these women are like, I can feel. I mean, they're not put all the way under, but they're supposed to have pretty heavy drugs on board for this procedure, and they're like, I can feel everything you're doing. Like, I can feel everything. This is so painful. Like, this is the most painful thing I've ever been through. This is like excruciating pain because they're retrieving eggs from their ovaries or wherever they are getting them out of. I guess they're in their ovaries. It's still at that point. I don't really know how it works. I'm not a doctor, in case you didn't know.
Okay. Something like that.
But anyway, so it turns out that they've been getting saline instead of, the drug, whatever the drug is, which is Percocet or whatever it is.
Propofol.
Propofol or one of those drugs. But anyway, it's a highly addictive substance, and I'm gonna leave it there. Just say that it goes into the whole case about why there was no drugs in their IV drip, and it was just saline, and you can all
Ugh.
guess what it was. Yeah, it turns out that it was. I think this is early in the season. It's a nurse who's been replacing the saline with, or replacing the drug with saline because she's stealing
Taking the
drugs.
drugs.
Yeah. Anyway,
And putting these
it's really,
poor
really
women
good.
through this horrendous
It's just
nightmare. It's just awful.
it just touches on so many things that we as women have to go through all the time. It's like, I guess you just want women to be in pain. Like, women just like deal with the pain somehow. I don't know how women do this. Like,
Because
gosh,
we are often gaslit by so many doctors,
yes.
and it's amazing what
know.
we just make okay. Like the level of pain that women just become okay with because no one will help, and you can't get, no one's listening to you, and that you know your body and you know something's wrong. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, I go on a tangent. I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah.
But it's just it's unreal.
It is unreal. So if you guys are fans of Serial, which was the one that had like the big Adnan Syed thing, this is another like season of Serial, and it's called The Retrievals, and it's really good. Okay, Nat, what do you got?
So I'm I'm listening to one. I've always listened to Crime Junkie.
Yeah, I've never listened.
Here
to
are
that
my
one.
things with Crime Junkie.
Okay. Okay.
Now, I listen to Sword and Scale is another true crime podcast, and then there's Crime Junkie. And the reason I'm bringing them both up is because they're very wildly different, but they talk about, true crime. Yeah. So Sword and Scale is this guy, and he's just the narrator, and they have like phone calls and stuff like that. But it's like a normal one guy speaking normal voice, and it's all with podcasts. A lot of it is about the voices and like the people that are talking. And like, there's been really cool podcasts that I couldn't listen to because I couldn't connect to the person speaking.
Oh, the voice is a huge
it's very
part
important.
Of it for me. Yeah.
So with Crime Junkie, there are these two gals, and what I will say is they're adorable. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're adorable. It's just kind of like, you have to kind of lean into the fact that they're like, OMG. And then what happened? Well, girl, get this. He opened his trunk and you will never believe what he saw. Tell me, Britt, what could it have possibly been? It was a body. OMG, you're lying. Okay, so stuff like that.
Well done. That was great.
And I'm not making fun. I mean, not that they listen to this, but I'm just saying, it's just like, it's very like Valley Girl, true crime, and they're just like, I'm like super not into that, like that interview that they just did. Like, I'm super not into the detective, like not asking that certain question, right? I mean, it's just very like,
but I just
it's like Clueless true crime podcast.
Right.
But
and that can be,
you get used to it,
charming.
though.
Yeah.
It's charming.
Right.
You can get used to it, and they're quick episodes, like whatever. But at first I was like, what? But then I realized, I'm like, they don't have to have dark tones to just like have it entertaining. Right. It's entertaining. I mean, I've continued to listen to it. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's that. And then there's Sword and Scale, which is this normal narrator dude. But like with the phone call recordings and all of these things. And Crime Junkie has some of that. And then, and then I listen to like the Dateline with Keith Morrison, which I love.
I didn't know Keith Morrison has a podcast.
Well, he does, like, it's not just him. It's like all of the hosts of Dateline.
Can you give me an example?
You know why I listen to this?
Why?
And it miffs me.
I want to know.
I get miffed because my Saturday morning routine used to be wake up, watch the new Dateline from Friday night, because it's usually in all the streaming apps, ready to do. Well, they haven't had a new episode in so long that I have had to go and I have to watch American Monster. I have to watch People Magazine's investigatory show, because now Max has all of the investing on the case of Paul Azan. I mean,
You,
Dateline
how are you
isn't.
surviving? I mean,
It's
God,
weird.
Natalie, it sounds like a real sacrifice that you're having to
It's
make
just
in your
like life
life.
is hard. Okay.
People,
And
yeah.
I just
Natalie's
wish that
have a
they
hard
would
life with this.
just get back to
Mm-hmm.
weekly Dateline episodes because the podcast is updated regularly.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, do I want to listen to it? Because I'm praying that Keith is going to come out this Saturday morning. I'm
No.
like, there's Keith. But
Right.
it's been like a month. So,
But it
just saying.
isn't Keith.
Or is it? Oh.
Can I?
That's scary. Then what happened? Were you mad? Yeah, he killed my brother. Oh no. That's
so good at that.
terrible.
Can I just ask you a question? Because you're the first person that I know who was into like true crime stuff, and I'm talking like
Thank
when
you.
I met you. Like, when did I meet you? I met you in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you
Mhm.
were into true crime in 2008.
I was
You
in
were
true crime as a
watching-
child.
Right. Well, right. We all
It started
listeners.
with Hitler.
Listeners, we can never forget that Natalie Sanderson is the one who drew the painting, made the painting of David Koresh. Don't ever forget that.
During-
Don't ever forget who you're listening
During
to.
the
You're
standoff.
during the standoff, Natalie
Yeah.
was obsessed with David Koresh, okay? So
Yeah.
don't ever forget that, listeners. Just
Thank
always
you.
have that in the back of your mind because,
Thank you for that shout out.
yeah, this is a birthright.
When I learned
it
about
sounds
Hitler, I was like, what the these like people are like this? It went from Hitler, then it was like Manson, then it just like kind of like snowballed, and then it went,
Yeah.
you know, and then David Koresh was like before my very eyes. I wrote independent research papers in college about serial killers and true crime that
Mhm.
I didn't have a class that they went to, but I just wanted to have them in case I ever needed them. But I didn't go to my classes. Instead, I'd go to the library and I would just like independently work on a paper about Heaven's Gate or the
Where
Manson
do those
family.
exist? Are they somewhere? Can
They're
we read them?
somewhere. Yeah,
We need to find those.
I need to get those out. I
Mhm.
found my paper on Hitler from 5th grade.
I'd like to read that. Can you please
Yeah.
bring
I can
that
get that
to
out.
one of our episodes and we can do a little
Yeah,
read through?
actually, it's here. It's in my house. I can. Yeah, I'll dig it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just
'cause-
was always interested in like. It's in my
Is it
library.
in the
It's
library?
in one of
Yeah.
these folded up in one of my books. But I just always wanted to know why people were like that, and why did they think they were entitled to this amount of power, and
Mhm.
why they wanted to use what charisma and power they had over people in a dangerous and reckless and harmful way.
Well, and that's what, getting back to this Amanda C. Riley on Scamanda, that's exactly what you're thinking this whole time.
Yeah.
You're like, why is she doing this?
Just because she
'Cause it's-
can. People
it's
do
not
it
just
just because
about the
they can
money.
do it. No,
Yeah.
it's power.
Yeah, and it's compelling, and we're all kind of obsessed with it because it's just like, wow.
Well,
And
you're
the
just
thing
like,
to-
are you fucking kidding me? Sorry, Darren. It's just like you can't even believe.
I
Like,
know.
oh, you're not going to get in trouble. You're not
Right.
going to get caught. You're smarter than all the stupid cops. You're smarter than all the Olivia Bensons and Detective Stablers. You're gold. Okay, well, good for you. You're never
Well,
going to get caught.
gung
Yeah, well,
gung
keep
to
going.
you. Yeah,
Well, I'll write you a
Dick
check.
Wolf would be proud.
Yeah,
Right.
Congrats. So
Congrats.
that's kind of what that. It's just fascinating.
It is fascinating, really is. All right,
But those are all I just did all my true crime.
true crimes. Yeah, me too. I've moved on. I've got some other stuff I want to tell you about.
All right, you go ahead.
There is
Now we're
there
on
is
to
a
the
com-
lighter podcasts.
I'm going to the lighter stuff. So there is a comedian out there who I really love. I mean, she's probably like the driest, most low key, deadpan person you will ever encounter. It's Tig Notaro, and she has a great podcast called Don't Ask Tig, and it's an advice thing, but she has a different famous guest on there every single week, and they just talk about people. They write in and answer questions for people, but they don't take it so seriously. Like, obviously it's not like serious, but it kind of is.
But are they making fun of?
No.
Okay.
No, they're not making fun. They're like, so and so, like, this is happening, and my mother-in-law is doing this. What do you think I should do about it? And they'll answer the question seriously, but they're like, Tig Notaro is like the podcast is called Don't Ask Tig. I mean, don't ask me. Let's get my guest person here to answer the question. But they also just talk about they do a lot of visiting and stuff. It's just kind of like I just like those podcasts about nothing.
Feels
Okay.
good.
Well, clearly I like those podcasts
Yeah.
about nothing
Was it
because I'm
like part
on
of our
one right
inspo?
now.
Yeah. Us.
But I mean,
It
I
us.
really like Tig. Like Tig has been through so much in her life, and her story is so crazy and compelling. Like her health
Did
battles.
she have cancer?
She had cancer, and then she had C. diff, which is like this stomach
Shit.
disease.
Yes.
And then her mom died, like all in the same. This all happened like in the same 3-month period or something.
God, you know,
And then
comedians have had the saddest shit happen to them.
Yes, and the reason that brought her really to fame was she got on stage and she was doing a stand-up one night and she just said, "Hey, how are you guys doing? I just got diagnosed with cancer today." And she just told her story. It was supposed to be a comedy routine, and instead she just told her whole story, and it went like viral and crazy.
Such a
and
badass. So
totally. Cool. And then she ended up doing a show called One Mississippi, which is about her family and just different things. It's just so well written and so good. And I just love her as a podcast host. I just like her personality a lot. She's really funny. I mean, it's very
we need to get into that.
Deadpan, very dry.
Mm-hmm.
She also has another one with Cheryl Hines called Tig and Cheryl True Story, where they review documentaries, but they don't really review documentaries. They basically just they have a documentary and then they just go off on tangents the whole time, and it makes me laugh out loud.
How do you do with Cheryl Hines' voice?
Oh, it's I like her voice actually.
Okay,
it's interesting. They have a nice. The two of them have such
different voices, right?
Oh yeah, she's in her.
I go back and forth.
Yeah,
with her voice.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the podcast.
She makes fun of herself, which is great. She's super endearing, and she laughs. She's like the Tig's like the straight man.
I'm interested in how that friendship. I know that Tig was on Curb a bunch.
Yeah,
right.
That's because Cheryl got her.
They're very
on there.
similar. That makes sense.
Yeah, and
what an interesting friendship.
It is. It's a very interesting friendship, and the way that they talk to each other, they really play off of each other, and they're like night and day. Okay,
well, I got to get in on that one. That sounds good.
And they're funny. I mean, I sometimes will be laying in bed listening to that because I listen to it when I'm trying to go to sleep, and I'll start laughing, and the whole bed will start shaking, and Frank is like, "Stop! turn off the podcast."
There's a lot of jokes I could do right now. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you just really opened a gate.
You're like, is that why the bed's shaking?
All right. I mean, I'm acting like you. I'm Angelaing it.
You're not, because you didn't say it.
Do it?
Because
I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken shit.
Well, that's all right. It's probably good. After that Buns episode, I feel like everybody needs a little break.
Ugh.
Man.
We needed some ice buckets. And maybe one for our drunkenness, and two just because it just got so weird. Anywho.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I'm really into those. I'm gonna do that.
Get it.
I can't not mention, obviously, I'm sure, my desk knows how much I love Smartless. So It's pretty clear. But I will say, I was going to, one of my favorite Smartless episodes ever. Mm-hmm. If you haven't listened to it yet and you're just getting into it, the George Clooney one is a really good one to start. And the Stephen Colbert episode is those are my two favorite of all time so far. They're hilarious. And I had Justin and I were driving to Heber a few weekends ago, and I played the George Clooney one. He was hooked. And then he was like, I had no idea that George Clooney was this funny and blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
But from Smartless, I've been listening to Just Jack and Will, which is Sean Hayes and Eric McCormick from Will and Grace. Yes. And it's good, but they take episodes and they just dissect these episodes, and they have a guest on. It's Jeffrey or Jerry, anyway, the director, or then a producer, and then they had Deborah Messing on one time. And honestly, I'm just waiting for Karen to come on.
Right.
Megan Mullally.
Megan Mullally.
Yeah. So it's cute, but it's not, their voices are nice. And I love Sean Hayes because he's I think the best person in the world. But Eric McCormick's voice is like butter. It's really good. I do like that.
It is a big thing with podcasts for me that I have to like the voices. I have to like the production values. I have to they have to be the right amount of time. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, these are good short episodes. Which, since you mentioned that, Since you said
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
I love these next two. The other two ones I listen to are great, but they're long, and
Yeah.
sometimes I can't finish. Like I love Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend,
Oh yeah, it's good.
and because they have all these guests, and like the guest has to say Conan O'Brien is my best friend, like before they even get started. And the Harrison Ford saying that on
Yeah.
one of the newer episodes was hysterical. And I love Conan O'Brien very much, but I love his show. It's just can be long, but I love Dana Carvey and David Spade's podcast called Fly on a Wall. But Jesus, sometimes it's 2 hours.
Girl, I know.
And I'm like, y'all,
just
whoa.
reel it in. Like have a time. I know. It's a little
When
too
they
long.
did,
but we love them. But we love them.
They're so funny. But when they did the Chris Farley tribute, there were 2 episodes that couldn't have been long enough. So I understand, like it's circumstantial, but
Yes.
overall,
it's a commitment.
Let's just do 45 hour.
Yeah.
Hour.
Yeah.
I'll do an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
I listened to. Now this is where we get into some of the podcasts about shows, like you mentioned the Will and Grace
Just Jack
one.
and Will. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I listened to Office Ladies, which is
oh yeah, I need to do that.
and it's another one where it's like it's Jenna, what's her butt, and
Pam from The Office.
It's Pam and Angela. Yeah,
and Angela from The Office.
Yes, and they talk about every single episode and they break it down, and they're really fun together.
I need to do that. I totally forgot. I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna write that down.
So that's a really
We'll put
funny
this in
one.
the show notes.
Yeah, we will try to remember to put this in the show notes.
Office
and then
Ladies.
Darren's looking at me like I'm looking at you, Ange.
Yeah.
And then I also started listening to the Sopranos, Talking Sopranos, because I listened to all of Sopranos this year, or watched all of Sopranos, and that's another one it gets kind of long, but it's Michael Imperioli and what's his name, Pussy, who plays not Pussy,
Pauly.
Yeah, Pauly. And
I didn't even know this was a podcast.
Yeah, it's called Talking
Oh my God, my
Sopranos.
head just exploded. What is it called? Talking Sopranos?
It's called Talking Sopranos. Talking Sopranos. And that's a really good one because they break down, all the things, and Steve Buscemi comes on and talks about his.
What?
Yeah, it's really good, Nat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
my
really like it.
Heart is full.
Your heart is so full.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, I wish I'd known about this.
Well,
before Pete RIP'd. I would have loved that.
Oh,
it's okay.
Pete.
Remember,
Yeah, it's okay.
We're supposed to say sweet. I mean, I'm supposed to be able to.
Pete loved Sopranos.
All y'all having those faces. It's okay.
One of the things we love about Pete is that he loved The Sopranos.
Loved The Sopranos.
He was
his favorite show.
He was such a badass, that Pete.
Oh.
He was like,
well, he had good taste, Angela. He had great taste.
Well, not only did he have good taste, but he lived the life. He was a total
G.
Yes.
Yes.
He lived the life.
Yes. I mean,
he's like,
he was Christopher.
Exactly.
I mean, I had to be Tony of the house, which I wasn't. I mean, obviously,
right.
Pete was actually Tony, but I called him Christopher.
Right.
When he would get sassy.
Yeah. Right. I know.
Or just
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm thankful that he never got addicted to the smack, though.
No, I am too. Just pup cups from Starbucks.
Yeah. He did get a little crazy with the pup cups.
We had to take a beat because you couldn't talk to Pete before he had his puppuccino in the morning. It was like it just got to be too frequent.
I feel you. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But,
I hear you. Well, I mean, we could go on and on and on. Of course, I listen to like Fresh Air and like all the NPR stuff.
I stopped. I'm over it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to know real things.
I know.
We had our current event talk the other day, and I was like, "This sucks." Just me and you. I was like, "This is so dark. I don't want to know." Let me stay in La La Land. Let me stay with the elephant theme song in my head.
All right, we're gonna take a little pit stop.
Oh yeah, you go.
Sorry. All right. Is it okay if I bring up RG?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I just
because you just saw Barbie.
Right. I just saw Barbie, and so I want to dedicate this pit stop to somebody who we really haven't talked about a lot on this podcast. Have we?
Yeah, we have a little bit.
Have we? But I don't think to the extent
Well, he deserves
that we
a parade for this one.
He really does because I just watched Barbie. He really did. It's Ryan Gosling, everybody. Yes. Ryan Gosling. Give it up for Ryan Gosling. What I love, here's what I love, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. about Ryan Gosling is, first of all, the man he gets more attractive to me the
Oh.
more that I see him displaying all of his various talents.
And the
So, I mean, he's
comedy
not
and
just a pretty face. He is a very
no.
pretty face, okay?
Yes.
He's not necessarily my type, but he's
Everyone's type. Okay.
Darren's leaning into Darren, it's okay. Say it to everybody if you want to say it.
Everyone's type. Yeah.
Okay. He's everyone's type.
Yeah.
He's good looking dude.
Straight up.
But he's also just so talented, and we know from the internet, thank you internet, that he was doing dancing routines, and
he was in the Mickey Mouse Club.
He was in the Mickey Mouse Club, and there's video footage of him dancing, and it's just
the hammer pants. Yes,
in hammer pants, and everybody's seen it. And when you see him in an interview or something, he doesn't take himself so seriously, which is my favorite thing in the world.
Right.
No,
I think he's just like, he's cool, man. And he's funny.
He's cool. And then, I loved him in La La Land. Like, did you like La La Land? I don't remember.
I did. I loved La La Land, but I loved him in Blue Valentine. I loved him in Drive.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
we did talk about Drive, yeah.
Yeah, he's just, I think, he's like, the jack of all trades or whatever, that thing that people do. All of the things. He can dance.
Yes.
And sing.
Yeah, he can sing. He can dance. He can do it all.
And he's funny. I really think that he stole the Barbie movie, which was fantastic because he should have. I mean, it was wonderful.
I mean, I don't think he stole the show, but I feel like
if you had to pick.
Well, Natalie.
The whole movie's perfect, but he really, you know why? Because he continues to surprise me. That's the thing.
Yes.
Like,
okay.
When an actor continues to surprise me in wildly variety of performances, that steals the show for me.
Yeah.
For moi.
For you. Pour two. Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, so Ryan Gosling, well done. We love you. We think you're hot. We think you're funny. We think you're talented. We're jealous of your...
Come on the show, man.
Yeah, come on the show, Ryan. Are you listening? Come on. Bring Eva with you.
Let's talk about your spray tan. I want to know where you got it.
It was amazing. I know. So good, everybody. Okay, so that's all. I just wanted to say that little shout out to Ryan G. What else, Nat? How are we gonna wrap this up? I mean, I feel like we could talk forever or not talk, just talk or not talk. But
about things
I do want
to,
about things and stuff. I want to tell people to definitely download, subscribe, go to our YouTube, watch us on YouTube, like us on the social media, follow us, share the stuff, write reviews for us.
Tell us what to do. What do you want us to do? We'll do it.
Let us know. DM us and tell us.
We will dance like monkeys for you. Just tell us what you want. We'll
tell us if you're going to read the book with us. If you're going to read lessons in chemistry for the Put Your Books Down.
Or if you have read it and you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Let us know that too. Like, save us the time. Like, we're all about cutting corners and Put Your Books Down. So, if you have some insight or an opinion,
we want to hear it.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
If you want to just send me the ending of the book, that's fine too. I don't really care.
No, it's fine. Raise a glass of the Oyster Bay and just, and
keep it light and keep it chill.
Keep it light, everybody. Keep it chill.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you for coming to talk to me today about podcasts. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was really good. Good idea.
Thanks.
You're right.
Cheers to you. And everybody, just keep on keeping on. It's hot as bees out here in the summertime. I don't know how much longer I can take this heat.
Just stay strong.
I'm just going to stay in the AC.
Stay strong.
Just stay strong. Okay.
Well, it's time.
It's time to say
Namaste.
Namaste. Cool.
Cool.
Very cool.
You are.
Namaste, tuning into podcasts every day.
Namaste, talking Sopranos.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell have I been doing with my life?
I don't know, but you need to be doing that one because
that's a big oversight. I'm embarrassed, actually.
Shame for yourself.
I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.